welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Bit. We're back. I think it's been like a full week off, right? It was last Thursday, the last time we did a show, because I think I was traveling on Friday morning. So good to be back. Good to be back. Still not rested. I'll tell you that right now. Don't feel rested. We touched down yesterday at 5:30 Eastern, I think, and then was hosting trivia by 7. So, we got Vegas brain. We got Vegas brain, but the show must roll on. Who do we got in the chitty chat this morning? Patrick said, in my latest trip to Vegas, I learned that Mike is afraid of roller coasters. That is not true. It's not that I'm afraid of roller coasters. I'm not interested in them. I've done them. I can do them. But after 3 days in Vegas of all the garbage that I had consumed, last thing I want to do is get twirled around, We got Bodivine in the chat. We got the Common Man. We got Stubbs here. We'll do a quick Vegas recap, then we'll get into some hoops. We got a big slate tonight. But yeah, shouts. Who did we have out there? We had Patrick out there. We had Patrick with his cousin Vinny came out. We had a Parker sighting. Patty's little boy Park. Then we had, what do we got? Borland. We had Borland out of the chat and into Vegas. We had Boston-based out there. We had D Rose. We had a D Rose sighting too. And now I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, and if I am, I'm sorry. But I think that's the most of the Motley crew. And then Papa Zakarian and Bro Zakarian came out too. I had a great time. I had to tell you, it feels like this is probably the last time the NBA Cup is going to be in Vegas, so it was fun to be there from start to finish. I had 3 very different experiences there. But this one was a lot of fun. I think this was the best basketball we've seen, right? So we start off with the Orlando Magic and the Bing Bong Boys on Saturday. And that was kind of, I wouldn't say a snooze. It was fine. Brunson goes for 40. That was fun. The game was a little bit more exciting until Jalen Suggs went down. Also, have we not gotten an update on Jalen Suggs? There's sneaking suspicion we are going to get some sort of tweet here soon that's going to be, actually, let me see something. But that's just going to say Suggs is out for like 4 to 6 weeks, because I didn't love the groin. It says hip contusion. All right, so maybe that's good news for him. But yeah, that game was fine. And then, man, that the OKC Thunder and Spurs game was just electric. I got to tell, I was starting to tilt a little bit on Saturday night. I was starting to tilt a little bit because, Shams gets out there and he's like, yeah, Wemby, breaking news, Wembanyama's returning to the floor for the first time. And then he doesn't play the entire first quarter. And I was like, Windhorse fingers, did they do this just so we all watch the game? And then in the first half, he checks in the second quarter. He plays 7 minutes in the second quarter, 7 minutes in the first half total. And he's a plus 20 in his 7 minutes. It was just bonkers. And then he comes out. He was great in the second half, too. Minutes got extended. I think he played 20 minutes in that game. They got the W. That set up for Spurs and Knicks. And then I gotta give the Knicks a little credit there. That was like I know it's the cup and everybody's making fun of it and stuff, but that was kind of one of those like playoff tested teams versus a young team, right? Where like the Spurs looked to be the better side of things for the first, I don't know, 40 minutes of the game. And then in the last 8 minutes of the game, the Knicks were like, we've been here before. We know how to win these games. OG Anunoby was awesome in it. Was just awesome. But it was a fun experience. And I know, like they said before we get out there, that this was going to be the last year they did the semifinals out there, but the goal was to have the finals still be in Vegas. I got to tell you, it felt like, and I'd be curious for the people that were there, or maybe what you've seen or heard to weigh in. But it seemed pretty clear to me that they're not coming back next year. And not that it was bad, but you like the energy around it put forth by the NBA felt less than what we typically see. It felt like there were less activations. There were less stuff going on. I think on Saturday they did a good job of having, like basically what I saw out there was some expensive merch, the hoop bus with New York legend. I forget the guy's name, but he was out there. And then a Nas concert at halftime, which, like, shout out there. I mean, not at halftime, but in between the two games. However, for, like, the final, there really wasn't anything going on. It was pretty quiet there. And I know the difference is, like, a Saturday 2-game slate versus, like, a Tuesday night, like, one game. I totally get it. You probably have more people there on the weekend, whatever. I will say, though, from, like, the arena itself, this felt like, even with the Lakers being there a couple years ago, this felt like the best attended. The Knicks Magic game was a little light, but there seemed to be more fans traveling for this. Now, part of that's probably the Knicks. I saw the Spurs flew out some of their fans, which I thought was pretty sick. But like there were tons of Spurs fans for both games, tons of Knicks fans there. So it was weird to see that it felt like the NBA had pulled back a little bit, yet the fans were a little bit more jacked up. I'll say I was just thrilled. The weather was awesome. The weather was sick out there. It was like 45 every morning, but then it was like 65 by noon. So we did the doubleheader on Saturday. So I got in on Friday. I got in on Friday night, played a little poker, had a fun time. Then grabbed some pizza and called it a night. Had a very chill first night out there. And then Saturday, my brother and my dad arrived, and then we hit up both of those games. And then Sunday, had a full football slate on Sunday, which was a lot of fun, even though the Bills beat our Patriots and shit the bed. The Patriots shit the bed a little bit. But went over to our the Brewdog rooftop and watched football there in the morning. Did a little gambling in the afternoon as a family while we watched some football. And then we did Crack Shack. We did Crack Shack on Sunday night where we met up with everybody, which was nice. And as everybody else was starting to arrive into town. And then Monday we got some golf in. We went to this beautiful course that was like in the middle of the desert. It was like 40 minutes off the strip. And it was awesome. That was a lot of fun. And then, of course, Tuesday, got some more hoops in, had some fun with everybody, but it was a great time. I really does feel like that's the last time we do that trip. There's already been rumblings. They were talking about doing the Cup final at Cameron Indoor Stadium, or like throwing some stuff around there. I stand firm in this take that I had a year ago, that I think I heard on another podcast recently too. I think, right, if you have do the normal group stage throughout like Christmas or whatever, through October, November, beginning of December, do the semifinals where the home team hosts the semifinal, right? Have the final All-Star weekend, right? And if you it's kind of like in the NFL, if you make the Super Bowl, you don't play in the Pro Bowl, same thing. Right? You could make the All-Star team and then you don't play in it. I think that would be way more fun. Forget the skills challenge and forget like Drewski playing against J-Dub, right? Like we don't need any of that. You can still do the All-Star game. You can still do the dunk contest if you want. Honestly, do the dunk contest at halftime of the Cup final. Just do it like that. On Saturday, right? You have the first half, maybe a little bit of a longer, you say it's like Thunder. It would Spurs and Knicks in the first half. At halftime, they come out there, chuck some three-pointers, do the dunk contest, second half. And then Sunday's the All-Star game. That's how I would do it. Anyways. But a great time. I appreciate everybody that did come out. It was fun seeing everybody. It was good to be out there. It feels kind of nuts to be back and then to turn around and like leave for Massachusetts in a couple of days. But yeah, good times all around. Appreciate everybody that was following along throughout or came and hung out with us. We had a good time. Yeah, Mob didn't get me. We're back, baby. We were just out there for a long time. And then I didn't have service wasn't great in the hotel. I was trying to put together a couple of things while I was out there and was unable to do so, specifically for the Celtics Daily channel. But yeah, that was the trip. We had fun. We definitely were down. This is the first Vegas trip where I feel like I did not win a ton of money, or not even any money. I could not get anything going on the tables. It was a tough hang. So much so that I was like, I'm good, man. I'm not even enjoying this aspect of it. Yeah, I was too small for the coaster. What happens? That's what happens, man. All right, let's. I don't know. You want to talk some hoops? You want to get into what the hell's going on with Cleveland, bro? Stubbs, what's going on with Cleveland? What's happening with you guys? I don't know if it's trade season or what. And again, there's something about the Eastern Conference that, like, even when you go 3-7 in their last 10, you're not freaking out because you're like, wow, dude, who's really scared of the Eastern Conference, right? But I mean, the Cavs now, this is like a pretty big chunk of the season, right? Where it's almost Christmas time. And they are now 15-13 after losing by 16 to the Bulls. And if you're like, hey, mate, whatever, they had an off night. They just lost to the Hornets, too. So if you thought a Hornets loss would all of a sudden light a fire, you're wrong. It didn't. Now, granted, they're without Mobley, right? I think he's missing a couple of weeks. Mitchell had his 32 points in a loss, as he do. He had 32 and 5. You had Dean Wade gave him a couple points. You have Allen with 14 and 6, Tyson with 21, Garland with 15 and 6. They moved Hunter to the bench. They said that's going to be for the foreseeable future. He's going to be their sixth man to give him a little bench boost. But I mean, it's just tough. It's a tough scene here. The Bulls who have been awful, man. They have been one of the worst teams in the NBA the last couple of weeks. And you have Giddey out there with a triple-double. He finally found his form again. You had Kobe White give him 25 minutes and 30 points. Bucci gave him 20. Even Isaac Okoro, who's like allergic to double-digit scoring, gave him 12. Collins with 10 off the bench, 4 and 7 from Jalen Smith. Like, I don't know what they do, man. I don't know what they do. And it's an expensive team right now, too. It's an expensive team because you have Mobley, Garland, and Mitchell, your big three. Allen's also getting paid. I don't know what the trade deals look like, but I imagine this expensive team is going to have to do something soon. And if it's not a move to win now, if it's not a move to win this season, you got to think like Donovan Mitchell is going to start like sniffing around going elsewhere after this season. And maybe that's an overreaction, right? They're like 2 games over 500. Maybe it's not, maybe we shouldn't freak out yet. But if we go poke at the standings, I see D Rose in there. Yeah, big Bulls dub, D Rose. They're now in the 9-hole, bro. The 9-hole. 28 games into the season. The 9-hole. They are 3-7 in their last 10. And I mean, like, look at some of these losses as we poke over there. Lost to the Bulls, to the Hornets. They barely beat the Wizards by 4. A 5-point loss to the Warriors. But remember, that was with Golden State was without Steph, Jimmy, Dre. They were missing everybody that game. They got by the Spurs. That's a good W. Then they lost to the Blazers. They beat the Pacers, lost to the Celtics, Hawks, and Raptors. Like, I don't know what the move is. I don't. And I know we're going to start seeing some names be thrown around, like the Lowry Markkanen sweepstakes will continue to heat up, I imagine. Anthony Davis rumors flying around, like, is he going to move? I don't know. DJP said, if you told me at the start of the season the Cavs are 4th and Boston are 9th at Christmas, I would believe you, but the other way around. I know. I mean, I thought at worst, like, I wasn't panicking a couple weeks into the season when Cleveland was off to the slow start because I was like, you know what, they're still figuring themselves out. And I think, if you want to be glass half full for Cleveland, you can say, hey, listen, man, we were missing Garland for like the first 3 weeks, and then Garland comes back, and Allen goes out, and then Allen comes back, and Mobley goes out, and Garland gets hurt again, and like Tyson had a concussion, and he's become an important part of the team, and he missed some time. You could make all that case in the world if you want. But I'm telling the Chicago Bulls have been one of the worst teams in basketball the last couple of weeks. The Hornets have been one of the worst teams in basketball the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Like these are bad losses that even teams who are a little undermanned, who are supposed to be, competitive teams, should be able to get some W's here, especially after the slow start. So I'll be curious to see what the conversation is around this team in the coming weeks, especially as we get past Christmas, because that's when the real trade stuff starts heating up. The DJP said the only thing that is really worrying is that they're always have someone out of matter since the playoffs. I mean, that they're not healthy, I think is what you're saying, right? Yeah, I don't know what they do, man. I don't know what they do here, but I do think, like, again, going back to the standings, and again, they could go on a 15-2 run, right? If they go on a 15-2 run, all of a sudden they're probably a 3 seed. They are only a game and a half out of the 3 seed. So it's still like it's not the sky is falling. But I think the difference is for a team like this, right? If you told me like the Heat are only a game and a half out of the 3 seed, you're like, oh, wow, we got a fighting chance. We're right there. But Cleveland had expectations of winning 58 games, being the 1 seed, and then going from there, right? And that it's not looking like that's in the cards for them right now. So bad loss for Cleveland, bad losses for Cleveland. And their upcoming schedule, right? We saw that they are playing the Bulls again, I think. Yeah, the Bulls again tomorrow night. That was a little home and home there. But after that, let's look at their next 10. Let's look at their next 10 and see where we think they're landing after that. So they got Chicago and then Charlotte and New Orleans. That should be a 3-game win, a 3-game run, right? However, they did just lose to two of those 3 teams in Chicago and Charlotte. And then it gets a little tricky because then you have the Knicks on Christmas at Madison Square Garden, at the Rockets, at the Spurs, home for Phoenix, Denver, Detroit, then Indiana, a couple with the Timberwolves before getting Jazz and Philly. So I don't know. If they were a good team, you'd be like, oh, that's a nice little run. Hey, there we go. Common man going the other way. You want to go? We did glass half full. What about glass half empty? Only 3.5 games from the 13 seed. Get him in the lottery. Get him in the lottery, he says. The other game last night, another team who I can't get a good feel on. Now, Minnesota is 17-10. So, like, the difference between these two teams is that Minnesota's actually winning these games. They have not looked good, in my opinion. Their guard play has been tough. Now, granted, they were without Anthony Edwards last night, so I'm not too freaked out about what Minnesota's doing. They're in great shape compared to a lot of their competitors in the Western Conference. But Memphis is this weird-ass team right now because I believe, I'm going to try to pull this stat up in real time, but I believe the Grizzlies are something like 4-9. Without hold on, let me see. I think they are 4-9 with Ja. Now I can't find it. Oh my God. Where was their little clickbait tweet? Why can't I find it? Maybe it's under Underdog. But I think it's like 4-9 versus 8-5 or something crazy like that with and without Ja. Yeah, here we go. The Grizzlies' record with Ja this season is 5-9. Record without is 8-5. They low-key been playing some decent ball lately, maybe because of all of the Spurs that were cooking. How do you like the Spencers? How do you like the White to Timberwolves rumors? I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't seen anybody on the Celtics side of things report. The closest thing I saw is that Brad Stevens said if this team if they're in the same position they're in now a couple months, that they're going to be buyers at the deadline. So I don't actually, not really too concerned about that. I would be very surprised if they traded Derek White. I think Anthony Simons, Kobe White. Yeah, I mean, Kobe White makes a ton of sense. Kobe White makes a ton of sense for them. They do need another ball handler. I think they'd probably prefer a point guard first type guard than Kobe White, more of a scoring point guard. But yeah. Anyways, Brandon Clark made his return. I thought that was good to see. 17 minutes. But yeah, Triple J. Who, man, I don't know if anybody's gotten Jaren Jackson Jr. right from a fantasy perspective this season. He finished the game with 28-12, also had 4 stocks. Felt like we haven't gotten any of that from him lately. Santi Aldama with 8-11, Coward 13-5, Wells had 17. Jalen Wells has been playing a little bit better here after kind of a rough start, but it was Jock Landale with a 20 and 10 double. Ozzy. Oi. And then for Minnesota, Dante Spicy Ragu at 19 and 11, which was good for my fantasy bags. Rudy was 16 and 16. So good win for them. I mean, good win for Memphis, excuse me. No, did we get a Spencer in this game? No, Spencer. Spencer was out. Oh, yeah, for personal reasons. That's right. So if we go back and look at the standings here, I know we just did the Eastern Conference, but quickly, right? You see the Pistons. Pistons, man, I almost feel like we're not talking about them enough. I almost feel like we're not talking about Detroit enough. Just with how solid they've been here. We are now 26 games into the season. They are 21 and 5. I know they have, and I think they started the season. If I look at their full schedule, I believe they started the season. 2-2, right? So they lose to the Bulls opening night, then they beat Houston and Boston, then lose to Cleveland. All right, so 2-2. Since then, just cooking, 19 and 3 with losses to Boston and Orlando, and then that Milwaukee one was kind of a bad loss. But outside of that, they've been on fire, man. And, I know Lauri Markkanen made the thumbnail today, and that was kind of in regards to Cleveland. But Lauri is also in consideration in Detroit as well. And I don't really know what the price tag is going to be for Lauri, I know Bill Simmons and Zach Lowe talked about this a little bit. But it's really hard to find guys who are making north of $40 million a year and trade them midseason because of the way the apron and the collective bargaining agreement is working. It's just harder to make these pieces move. But I do think Utah's at a point, and you're seeing them do it now, where they're letting their young guys go a little bit more. I just wonder if we see Lauri move at some point. He had I believe he's questionable tonight with an injury management Q tag, which means Utah has officially pulled the tank button. Roll him out into the streets. It's tank season for Utah. So does Lauri move, and is it something that's just like Jaden Ivey? I feel like they got to put something in there for salary purposes too. But like Ivy salary and a pick, is it just Ivy and a pick? Like I don't know what the cost is. And the other player that's been floated around here was the Dallas Mavericks big boy, Anthony Davis, which Dallas continues, outside of Cooper Flagg being awesome down this stretch. They lose Derek Lively for the season. That happened. Another season-ending injury for Derek Lively. I saw Kyrie Irving bought everybody golf carts for Dallas, but then I also saw that he tackled a robot. And did you guys see this? Hold on, I'll pull it up on my Twitter because I think I quote tweeted it with the worst guy has a good point or whatever that onion meme is. Here we go. All right, hold on. Let's share this screen. Let's share this screen. How many guards do the Jazz need? Yeah, we do more. I think more. Walter Clayton, though, kind of not playing awesome, so maybe that's part of it. All right, hold on. Here we go. Yeah, so this right here. This is now we're gonna watch the whole video. It says that the team came in contact with the robot today.
You said try?
Here we go. There we go, Kyrie. That's what I'm talking about. We need more of that shit. No, more of that. More of that. Forget AI, baby. Humans. But anyways, I forget how we got there. Oh, yeah, so like Anthony Davis might be on the move. And that's another one that's been linked to Detroit. I hope they don't do that. I think for me, I always think about the OKC run 2 years ago, right? Where they still had Josh Giddey and everybody was like, hey, go make a move. And Sam Presti was like, I want to take the team that we have and I want to go on a playoff run and then we'll see what we do in the playoffs and then make the necessary adjustments, right? They get knocked out by the Dallas Mavericks, which then Dallas turned around and was like, Luka, get the fuck out of here. And then they go get Caruso and they go get Hartenstein. I kind of think that's what Detroit needs to do. Just go, and I know they made it to the postseason last year, played the Knicks. This is a more mature team now. You need to kind of see what this looks like in the postseason as a favorite, So curious to see what they do, if it's anything, if it's just like ancillary pieces or what. One thing I'll point out too about Dallas, it feels like Jalen Duren has cooled off quite a bit after that like red hot start. I don't know. No AI, no these hands though. Yeah, dude, shout out these hands. Harrison Barnes, man, got to see him in person. But yeah, I'll be curious to see what Detroit does. We've got Celtics here. I wanted to point them out. So they're in the 4 seed. They're at 15 and 11, same record as the Orlando Magic. President Brad Stevens was on the mic this week. He had a couple of good comments, basically just being like, we're going to see where we're at. He said a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference are still kind of figuring themselves out and where they stand. And then if we're in position, if our team's looking good, we'll be buyers at the deadline if it's a good deal. But they also, the big thing was, I believe it was December 15th or 16th was the deadline to kind of, I forget what it's called. It basically the insurance policy if your guy gets hurt, right? The Rockets did it. So like Fred VanVleet got hurt. Now they get a little extra money exception, a disability exception. It's not disability. I forget what it's called. Something exception that allows them to spend some money. I can't believe I'm not thinking what the word is. But anyways, they had to make that decision this week. And Brad said they specifically did not. And that's because they want the door open for Tatum to return. So it does sound like Tatum's going to return. He did go on to say that he's not coming back until he's 110% ready to go, but that it sounds like that's likely. And we just keep getting more and more updates from Tatum doing either one-on-one or whatever he's doing. So it seems like we're getting him back soon, which is kind of wild. But anyway, Celtics and Magic both there. Magic continue to just be the unluckiest team with injuries. They can't get everybody on the court. Still without both Wagner. Suggs now going to miss some time. Just sucks for them because they were starting to play better ball. Sixers right there at 14-11. That's going to be the story of the year. Embiid's barely playing. Paul George barely playing. And somehow this Sixers team, 14-11. The Atlanta Hawks might be getting Trae Young back tonight, which is interesting. He's questionable for tonight's game against Charlotte. They're 15-12. You get the Heat culture down there. Heat have been rumored to be floating some Andrew Wiggins rumors around. Are they going to move him to get better? What are they going to do? The Cavs we just talked about. That's what you missed, Regulator. We talked a lot about the Cavs. And then the Bulls, forever in the 10 seed, baby. The Bulls need to be sellers. I mean, Vooch clearly is like, get me the F out of there. They need to be sellers. Or they need to pick a direction. They need to do something, man. And then you get the Cucks here at 11-16. Here's some breaking news for you. Giannis Antetokounmpo was on his brother's podcast, and not once during the entire podcast did they mention the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis is on like a historic diva run right now. He really is. And for the record, he's earned this right. He won a championship for a mid-market team. That you win, brother. You can do whatever you want. But he's on a generational run right now of just being like, we need to focus. We're too many off-the-court distractions. And I mean, like, unless he's just saying, Kyle Kuzma, stop wearing sweaters like that. I don't know what he's talking about. But the Bucks have been down bad. I will say they got a good win against Boston the other night where Kyle Kuzma turned back. I was going to say turn back the clock, but I don't know if he's ever been a 30-point a game scorer. But Milwaukee, anyways, they're 3-7 in their last 10. Charlotte's down there, Brooklyn, Pacers, Wizards, whatever. Okay, Western Conference, the Thunder, they're cut, baby, 24-2. 24-2. The Nuggets are down here at 19-6. I feel like I've said this a couple of times. It felt like Denver had been struggling a little bit, and then you look and they're 7-3 in their last 10. They've only lost 6 games on the whole season, and they've been doing that without Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown, who I believe Aaron Gordon's getting a little bit closer to returning. The San Antonio Spurs, I know they fresh off a loss that doesn't count because just a reminder, the Cup final does not count towards your total season standings. Spurs are now 18-7. See, winners of 3 in a row. And they get Wemby back, right? So Wemby has played 2 games so far, both of them in the Cup. He played 20 minutes in the first game, 24 minutes in the second game. One takeaway from seeing Wemby in person is sometimes I can't tell if he is out of shape conditioning-wise, because he hasn't been able to play a lot the last month. If he's out of shape or it just looks like he's not running hard because his legs are so fucking long. Like, it was really hard to get a read on on what shape he was in. But he's incredible, dude. He looks so good. He looks good. And the Spurs are poised to just continue to make a run. Castle looks awesome. IRL. Dylan Harper is progressing pretty quickly. It's just a really, really fun team. Better season record, I'd take the Spurs over the Lakers right now. The Lakers just can't defend any guard. Anytime, you remember when we used to target guards against the Bucks? It's like, oh man, they're playing. Maybe they're better defensively tonight because Austin Reeves is going to miss a week. I forgot Reeves is out a week or two with that. Was it a groin injury? But anyways, Spurs can defend, man. Those guards are tough. Those guard like that Castle Harper Fox combo. They've just got a lot of guys. Like I like Jeremy Sohan, and Sohan's like getting DNPs right now. That's how deep this team is. So I think I lean Spurs. And that's not even that's not a knock against the Lakers either. I think the Lakers are still a solid team. I'm just pretty high on the Spurs. But this West is kind of wild, right? So OKC, Denver, and then you get the Lakers and the Spurs with the same record. Rockets have somehow played 2 games less than everybody else. And they're just a game back. And then the Timberwolves right there at 17-10. And then there's like a pretty significant drop. I know it's only 2.5 games, but in talent, in my opinion. You get the Timberwolves down here. I'm sorry, the Suns are right now in the 7th seed at 14-12. They just got Devin Booker back, who looked good in his return. And then the Golden State Warriors. Stan, are you in the chat, Stan? Golden State Warriors through 27 games are 1 game under 500. They are losing. Like Jimmy Butler does not look like Himmy Butler. He does not. He looks rough right now. Brandon Pajemski, who was Mr. Untouchable just an offseason ago, has now fallen out of the starting rotation. Moses Moody's out there. Steve Kerr came out and said the other night that their rotation moving forward, I believe, was going to be, who was it? Moses Moody, Quentin Post, Draymond, Jimmy, and Steph. And they just don't have any moves to make, man. There's no moves for them to make. Like, I don't know what you would do. Sohan rumors that Hornets may trade for him. I kind of like that fit. Get another little defensive wing. Here, I'll save this, DJP. We'll come back to it. But yeah, I don't know what Golden State's move is. Like, their move is that Jonathan, because like they're like, oh, we'll just trade Jonathan Kuminga in January. Jonathan Kuminga is similar to, not similar, but like, I brought this up in my Celtics Daily video that comes up in a little bit later. Sam Hauser, right, was a name that was brought up a ton that they're like, oh, Sam Hauser's probably going to get traded at the deadline, right? That's like a good contract shooting. Same thing with Kuminga, where it's like, oh, dude, the talent, they don't use him right. We're going to get Kuminga. Like, who has seen either of those guys play this season and is like, we need to go trade for that guy? Like, Hauser, fresh off like an 0 for 10 or 0 for 9 from 3 game, hasn't been getting anything going. Kuminga, like, and again, we knew Kuminga probably wasn't going to get a ton of minutes because Steve Kerr hates him, but his minutes have looked bad. Even in the times that they've needed him, when like Jimmy has missed some time, Steph has missed some time. Like, they've had so many shorthanded games. Was it that game against the Cavs? Was it against the Cavs where the Cavs lost to them in a shorthanded game and like they were without Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy? And I believe Kuminga got a DNP there. But anyways, they're 13 and 14. The same record as the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 7-3 in their last 10. And then we are 25 games into the season, and the Utah Jazz are in the 10 seed. And I think the reason being is because the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Clippers are a combined 12 for 40. 12 and 40. 12 and 40. They've got 12 wins combined. Light the beam in the Clippers. The Clippers are so cooked, man. The Clippers are so cooked. It doesn't seem like they've got anything in them. There was crazy reports. Also, I feel like we are now doing too much reporting on the Clippers situation. Too much reporting on the Clippers situation. If you start telling me about people not going to parties, that's TMZ. Put that shit on TMZ. I don't need to know that Chris Paul hosted a Halloween party and nobody came. That's just sad. That bums me out. Also, just anybody that was defending the Chris Paul move, you just kind of look like an idiot now. Or not the Chris Paul cutting the move, removing him. That move, not signing him. Just bad stuff. We got T Cage up in here. Let's go. But anyways, yeah, they're bad. I don't even know what they do. I mean, I guess, do you trade Harden? Do you trade Kawhi? I don't know what you do. We got Raccio in here, says, who do you think is the player that could help the franchise increase its chance in the playoff? What team? Are you talking about a specific team, or do you mean like who's the biggest name that's going to get traded? What do you mean by that? Yeah, put that in the chat. Let me go back to DJP here. Your top 6 in the West. I think the top 6 in the West are going to be the top 6 that's there right now. I don't know if it's going to be in this order. I do think OKC and Denver go 1-2. I kind of think Houston finishes in the 3 seed. So I'd go OKC, Denver, Houston, San Antonio, Lakers, and Timberwolves. I think that would be my top 6. And then I think there'll be a considerable drop-off. I think Phoenix is a fun story. I think they're going to play everybody tough. I don't think anybody's going to be excited to play them. I don't see them making a run to the top 6, though. I don't see the Warriors doing it either. I know the Warriors have had a brutal schedule, and they've all got off to slow starts before, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. So that's going to be my top 6 right there. Clip said no way they trade Zubac, so he'll be the first to go. Yeah, probably. All right, so you're saying any team, any player, better if one for East and one for West, one player that could potentially increase their chance of a team moving. Okay, I mean, I think Lauri Markkanen is the biggest name. I think he's the easiest piece to fit into a team because I think Lowry can be like your number 1 scorer if you need him to be, like he is kind of with Utah. But I think Lowry for a team like what's it called? A team like Detroit, him going somewhere like that, even Cleveland if he went back to Cleveland. I think Lowry is just so good. So I think he's most likely to get moved. Anthony Davis is another one, but I think Anthony Davis is a harder piece to just fit into what you're doing already. Like Detroit was talking about him. I don't know. I don't know if he fits next to Duren. Although he wants to play the 4, but I don't know if that's ultimately good for the team. I know he's been rumored to Toronto, but what is Toronto going to offer? Are they going to keep Jakob Poeltl on that kind of a big contract, right? I don't know. I think Lowry is my favorite one. I don't think Giannis Antetokounmpo is actually going to get moved in season. I just think the vibes are going to be really bad for the rest of the year, and then he gets moved in the summertime would be my guess. But yeah, I really kind of like. I kind of like Lowry getting moved. I think that's my favorite one. And I think he could go to the East or the West. I think the East being so jumbled up right now, the Knicks could maybe make a move around the edges, although I kind of doubt it. The Pistons and the Raptors are the 2 teams that are they've got ammo to make a move. And then I think Atlanta, Miami, and Cleveland, you have to keep an eye on them too, because somebody like Andrew Wiggins, because I feel like Miami could go both ways. They could try to get better right now. They could try to get worse right now. I don't really know. And then on the Western Conference, to me, I think the Spurs are the biggest team to pay attention to. The Lakers might be able to make a little bit of a move, but I'm less intrigued by what the Lakers could do. I think the Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs are both in win now mode with a ton of assets to get better if they want to. And then a team like the Grizzlies, are the Grizzlies going to sell, or are they going to continue to play like this and be a little bit better? The Warriors are probably going to try to make a move too, but I don't see it happening. We got Matty Harrison from what the Pistons beat writer said. Detroit has no interest in AD. Thank goodness. Yeah, I think what's that dude's name? Evan Sittery was the one that was tweeting out oh yeah, he's on the top of the list or whatever, and then no one agreed with that. So yeah, I don't see them doing that either. I don't think it makes sense. So I'm glad. I do think Lowry's in play for them, but I think that's kind of it. All right, let's go poke around at tonight's action. DJP said at the end of the day, what is the point in doing big trades when the OKC are still this strong? I don't know. You're still going to go for it. Injuries happen. Yeah, these are new headphones. We got these a couple weeks ago. It was time. All right, let's go see tonight's stuff. We got so many games tonight. So let's take a look at it. I'm not really sure what to do from an underdog fantasy perspective for tonight, which by the way, Live Before Lock will be back tomorrow. 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll break down the slate, the weekend slate that is. So we get a lot of games, right? We got Charlotte and A-Town down. You got LaMelo Ball is questionable tonight. Does he make his return? Even if he does, don't think I'm interested. Well, maybe you get a little on the I don't know. I don't know what to do with LaMelo. Trae Young, also questionable. So 2 guards who have underperformed in their career. Well, that's not fair to Trae. Trae's been good. LaMelo hasn't won anything. Both of those guys are questionable tonight. Kristaps Porzingis still missing some time. He's not ready to go. The Knicks are in Indiana. And the Knicks gave us one of those special, hey, we're all kind of tired from Vegas. Everybody... Wait, you're saying no Melo tonight? You don't think he plays? I don't know when Nesmith is back. I don't, DJP. But for the Knicks Pacers, OG, Bridges, Cat, everybody's questionable. I think the Cat one is legit. Cat does not look 100%. That knee kind of looks cooked here. So we'll have to see what they end up doing. Neesmith actually, for DJP, for your question, it said he was supposed to miss a month or so, and it's been 4 weeks. So could be soon. He's definitely out for tonight, but could be soon. Could be soon. Yeah, didn't I just say Bridges isn't? I thought all of the Knicks were questionable except for Mitchell Robinson, Hart, OG, and Cat. Okay, yeah, so I missed Mikal. Mikal is not questionable. But I kind of wondered if they were going to rest some guys. Knicks are only 4.5-point faves, so it feels like one of them's going to sit. My guess is Cat. Cat's knee looks crazy. All right, let's see. We got Heat and the Nets tonight. Not really interested in this game too much. Don't think I'll watch a lot of it. Clippers and Thunder. Thunder are 16.5-point favorites. Clippers are so cooked, dude. Clippers are so cooked, man. So cooked. Wizards and Spurs. Wemby and Sarr. Little French on French action. This is Alex Sarr's first game in quite some time. Cucks and the Raptors. Is RJ Barrett back? I know he's missed. I don't think so. Let's see. Bucks are without. Bucks have AJ Green and Cole Anthony questionable, still without Giannis and Prince. Also, the Kuz is questionable as well. RJ still missing some time. Everybody else should be good to go for Toronto. Then you get the Pelicans, right? So Zion's back. The only person on the injury report for the Pellies is DeJounte. Jordan Poole in his games back have played 27 and 25 minutes. Since everybody's gotten healthy, Queen dropped down to 24 minutes with Zion's return. Zion played 26 minutes. Is Herb? Yeah, Herb Jones is back too. So, although now, does Herb Jones get traded? Who knows? For the Houston Rockets, Tari Eason's questionable. They might get Tari back soon. That's pretty exciting. You've got Pistons against the Mavericks. Anthony Davis is a Q tag, one of the bigger Q tags of the day. So is D'Lo. So is Brandon Williams. The D'Lo one doesn't matter. Brandon Williams would be good to get them back. Cooper Flagg also, by the way, against Utah, had 42, 7, and 6. Woo, baby, with 3 stocks, too. That was fun. For Detroit basketball, I think they're relatively healthy. Isaac Jones, I don't know who that is. He's on the injury report, but that's it. That's it for them. Denver and Orlando. This is going to be kind of a fun game. Denver's still without AG and CB. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Peyton Watson are questionable. I don't know if they both missed. That's kind of interesting. How many minutes did Bruce Brown play? Like, he played 27 in that last game when Peyton Watson only played 5 minutes and Hardaway played 40 minutes. Wow. All right, so wow, that's a lot of minutes. Okay. For Orlando, we mentioned no Franz, no Mo, no Suggs. They also have Tristan da Silva, questionable. Anthony Black should play 155 minutes tonight. Anthony Black, maybe Tyus Jones gets some more minutes. If da Silva misses, I don't know, do we get some more Jace Richardson or Jed Howard? And then we get 3 late games. So many games tonight. Golden State here. Warriors are without Patty Spencer and Big Al. Everybody else is good to go. Only really interested in Steph Curry tonight, if I'm being honest. On the Phoenix side of stuff, they're without Jalen Green, although it sounds like Green could be back soon. Grayson Allen also questionable. Booker, I mentioned him. He played 31 minutes in his first game back, so hopefully he's fully ready to go. Jazz here taking on the Lakers. No Niang, no Walker Kessler. Lauri Markkanen is questionable. Just want to mention, Filipowski's minutes have gone up. Played 37 in that last game. And Nurk, Nurk missed that game. Okay, and Nurk is back. But he's still been playing. He's been playing mostly 30 minutes a game. All right. Keontae George in a nut matchup here against the Lakers, although we'll have less Austin Reeves because he's out. But Gabe Vincent is also questionable. Oh, I missed DeAndre Ayton is out too. Dominating. No, thank you. Drew Timmy? Are we getting Drew Timmy minutes tonight? New Laker Drew Timmy? Probably not. It's just Jackson Hayes. That sucks. That would have been fun. And then the last game of the night, Portland Trailblazers are without Dame, Drew, Thibault, Scooty Scoop, Blake Wesley. Everybody else is good to go. And then on the Kings side of stuff, they're without Schroeder, Sabonis, Levine, and the Eubanks. Whew, man, tough stuff. Tough stuff for those teams, man. So the Knicks must have celebrated in Vegas, right? I think so. Did you discuss the Knicks banner? Oh, you know what? Yeah, so I didn't, but we can talk about that for a second. I think 2 things can be true. 2 things can be true. That the NBA Cup matters. The NBA Cup is a cool thing to win, and that you shouldn't raise a banner. I think if the NBA Cup is a new tradition, Let's find a new tradition in the way that we celebrate Cup champions, you know? Like, I think if you put a banner up there, whatever, I don't know. Maybe there's a different way we can do it. Like, they shouldn't get a ring either. It should be something else. Something else. Make it special. Make it your own thing. I don't know. Come up with a new thing for it. That's what I would do. But I don't think we should make fun of them. I know the Knicks aren't doing it. But, like, the Lakers and Bucks, I get that that's the internet, and that's what our social media brain, rot brain does, is we have to, like, dunk on everything. Hey, you fucking idiots. You dummies. You losers. Sorry, you're such a dork for fulfilling your goals. Like, they want a thing, and then everybody dunks on them, right? But, yeah, find a different way to celebrate. Find a different way to commemorate it, I think. That's what I would do. But yeah, I have banners up there for Billy Joel and Harry Styles, though. So it is kind of funny that they're like, this is where we draw the line. Billy Joel, sure. NBA Cup, not on our watch, baby. Not on our watch. But yeah, a lot of games this weekend. I don't really know what I'm going to do from an underdog perspective because there's just so many games. I don't really know how to approach it yet. Also, by the way, I know we haven't done Bagel with Locks. The Substack has been quiet while I was traveling. Also, it couldn't do Underdog out in Vegas, so I wasn't going to write anything up. We'll be back. The Bagel with Locks will be back tomorrow, so those write-ups will be back tomorrow. But it was my first day back from Vegas. There was no way my first slate was going to be like this 12-gamer. Give all the Knicks a bumper sticker that says my Knicks are Cup winners. There we go. Yeah, sure. Bumper stickers are fun. Let's go. I'm just going to pop into So Rare here for a second because I haven't really been paying too much attention while I was here, but I noticed I got one lineup that's kind of fun here. So we had Keontae drop 53, Triple J 62, Dante 53, and we still got Luka and Dyson going tonight. So that's kind of fun. I will say there was no So Rare presence in Vegas. No So Rare presence, no Top Shot there was no presence really of anybody except for Threads. Instagram Threads had a really big presence at the NBA Cup. I thought that was interesting. Did you play any place any sport wagers in Vegas? I didn't do any futures or anything. I did a lot of stuff for like the games that I was going to and some football. Didn't really get close to anything except I did one parlay for the final. That was pretty close. It was like a 25 to win 800 or whatever. And it was some adjusted lines. It was like Harper to score more than 16 or 15, whatever it was. It was Stephen Castle to be over, I think it was like 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then I needed 3 Devin Vassell threes. And I think I only got 2. And that was like 25 to win like 800 or something like that. But yeah, did some stuff for NFL on Sunday, but didn't go too crazy. Honestly, this is probably the least I gambled in Vegas, which was kind of interesting. I don't know if it's because my family likes gambling too, and they were there, so that definitely wasn't it. I just couldn't get anything going. I won some money playing poker the very first night, and then it was all downhill from there. And it just wasn't, I don't know. Also, I got to tell you, I don't think I'm staying at the MGM again. I think I'm done with that experience. Not that it was terrible. I just don't think I'm going to do it. I think next time we go, I don't know. Maybe I'll muck it up with Boston base in the Cosmo. Maybe that's what, I don't know. Do people have favorite stays? I don't have the bags for the win, but I think it's got to be like the Cosmopolitan, or maybe we just stay at the other side. Maybe we stay go down to the Venetian, something like that. Yeah, the Aria is nice. I do like the Aria. But I got to mix it up. I still like Park MGM. I think Park MGM's fun. No, it's not fun, actually. I like it because it's calm, and so I can go somewhere else to have fun. We get a Shams Slam post here. What is this? What do we got here? It was, here we go. Hall of Famer Kevin Garnett reuniting with the Timberwolves and the Lynx. There we go. Love to see that. Number 21 Wolves jersey retirement will also happen in Minnesota. That's exciting. About damn time. Common Man calling out the MGM signature. Yeah, maybe we do that next time. Good to see that. Good to see KG getting some love. All right, dudes, we're going to call it there. The Bit's back. We'll be back here tomorrow. I might mess around with something later today. I don't know. I got to see how the day goes, but stay tuned. But we'll be back tomorrow. Bagel with Locks, NBA Bit, Celtics Daily, and then Live Before Locks. So we got a busy ass day tomorrow. But again, appreciate all of you guys who came out to Vegas. That was a lot of fun. It was good to see you guys in real life. Good to see some hoops. Probably the last time they do it in Vegas, so good to do it. But we will see you guys tomorrow. We out skis.